All right, we're back. Shooting a quick little podcast here. What's the date? November 11th, Remembrance Day. So we recently got a dumping of snow. Can you believe that?
It's a lot of snow.
There's still leaves on the trees, like unbelievable. But yeah, we're gonna roll right into talking a little bit about the market, timestamp where we're at right now. So, my friend Stefan, I have some questions for you.
Nice, man. How's it going?
Not bad.
Nice.
Yeah, a little tired. My wife was just away on vacation, and I was watching our little one. So
It's a good daddy
little
duty.
tired. She got home last night, so we're back. So, looking at the real estate market, condos versus freehold, where are you seeing like the most activity right now in the market?
In general, there's a lack of activity happening in the market, let's be honest. But if I have to pinpoint, where is there more activity than others? Perhaps there's more activity on the freehold side versus the condo side. And then, I look at, various markets that I'm in, micro markets where I live, like Leslieville, Riverdale, there's still houses selling quite a bit of a premium relative to what I would expect them to even to sell. Even I saw a house on Lisgar that sold recently like 200K above list. And I'm like, okay, like what the hell? Like what's going on here, considering that there's really not that much activity to generate like multiple bids to get it up for, so far above that asking price. But I mean, it is what it is. Like some markets are a bit more constrained on, especially the good houses. Like if there's a good house that comes up on a particular street that appeals to a certain family and it's checking all those boxes, nice kitchens, nice bathrooms, good ceiling heights, all that stuff, it's going to generate offers and sell it at a premium.
Yeah, there's still buyers out there that are looking to be in specific neighborhoods or stay within that neighborhood. Let's say, they put their condo or townhouse up for sale. Now that we're looking at days on market. I think the average is like 45 to like 60.
50 days. I checked that stat actually. So the average day is 50 days on market on average right now. So yeah.
So in terms of like condos or freehold,
Yeah.
where are you seeing the most amount of activity right now?
Yeah. I mean, to put it bluntly, there's not a whole lot of activity, but if I have to pinpoint where there is more activity, generally it's on the freehold side. And there's certain neighborhoods or micro markets, as we like to call it, that are having more activity where houses are actually selling at a premium relative to even what I would even think is a reasonable price. Like a house on Lisgar Street, very close to our office, it was listed for 1,399, sold for 1.6,
Wow.
over 1.6. Nice home, Victorian, gorgeous interior, everything about it was lovely, and it sold at a premium. So even in a down market, houses can still sell, at that crazy price that, maybe it's fair, but I still think it was higher relative to even what I would advise my buyer to pay.
I feel like the homes in this neighborhood, the ones that are done up like that, they primarily would go anywhere between 1.8 and $2 million.
Yeah.
And this was a few years ago. So I feel like, that's a really good opportunity for someone
For sure.
to get into this neighborhood at that price point.
Townhouse, not even a detached.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, I remember.
It's
I
like,
remember seeing that one pop up. Yeah.
right? So there you go. That's how it is.
Okay, I want you to rank these neighborhoods: Beaches, High Park, Roncesvalles, top to bottom.
Top to bottom. Beaches, High Park, Roncy.
Is that because you lived?
I'm biased. I'm an East Ender. It's gonna be Beaches at the top, of course. But yes, that would be my order. All are amazing neighborhoods, guys. Don't come at me. I love all of them. I would live in all of them, but that's my personal ranking.
Yeah.
So.
I'm a West End guy, so I'm going to say Roncesvalles.
Roncy, okay.
I'll say Beaches next. Beaches is a great neighborhood, a little bit far from me, but and then High Park, which is also a great neighborhood. I don't know how you could even rank those. They're all
great. I said I would live in all of those. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're looking for a rental property, is it best to look for a rental in the summer or the winter?
Yeah, it's a great question that we get a lot from renters that are potentially looking for a new apartment. And, initially the thought process is that maybe it's better to look in the summer months, just because, more people are moving, maybe more inventory. I dug into the data a little bit just to give you some context of like how I'm thinking about this. Actually might be better to look in the winter months as a renter because the months of inventory is actually higher in the winter months compared to the summer months, right? Whereas like in the summer months, you might have like 1 to 1.5 months of inventory. In the winter months, it's more like 2 to 2.5 months. So double the amount of options as a renter in the winter time, which surprised me actually. Like, it's not easy to kind of put that together because you're thinking that there might be less inventory in the winter months, but truthfully, there's not. Based upon the last 3 years. I actually looked at data, guys, for the last 3 years on this, so you can,
And the good thing is too, you also have less competition, right?
yeah,
So you don't have as many people looking for the same spot,
yes,
right? So you can be a little bit more picky and choosy.
you
Right.
can be, absolutely.
So something that's new in the headlines these days is Ontario's new Bill 60. Have you read about this?
Ontario Bill 60, absolutely, yeah.
You want to touch on sort of the key points on Bill 60?
Yeah, for sure. So there's a lot in this Bill 60. That's just a proposal, by the way, guys. It's not law. It's just been proposed by the Ontario government. Some of it has to do with building homes, but it mostly talked about also how to maybe have some reform in the Landlord and Tenant Board and just really speed up the process on like really the problems that are arising from this really complicated landlord and tenant situation that we have in Ontario. And this is also coming from, just to put it out there, guys, like to preface this, I'm a tenant and I deal with landlord and tenant issues all the time. And just reading through, if you take the time to read through a little bit of the Residential Tenancies Act and understand a little bit more about how the Landlord and Tenant Board works, you start to begin to realize that it's really written in favor of tenants in Ontario
Very much so.
rather than landlords. And it's become a pretty big issue in a lot of circumstances. Um, you know, I they're trying to like make things a bit more fair from just like in general both perspectives. Some of the proposals I agree are controversial, some of the things that they're suggesting to do, and I don't think it's really there's no political appetite to change some of the things, but there might be some political appetite to reform other things like speed up evictions for people that are persistently late on rent, for instance, right? That's one of the key changes that
Yeah, I've been hearing about stories, landlords they can't kick their tenants out, and it's been like 10, 12, over 12 months.
yeah.
And they're just not collect, so they're in the whole 25, 30, $35,000.
It's insane.
That's not fair.
It's insane. And the tenant is abusing the property while they are 10, 12 months not paying rent.
Right.
This is a serious issue.
Yeah.
And so they're basically, first of all, they're trying to define the actual term of like persistent late payments. Basically, like, that's a term that they're trying to actually define in like LTV perspective, because in the courts that even term is not even defined right now. So lawyers and like paralegals are just like, okay, well, like, how do we define persistent late? How many months is
I
that?
feel like it's not hard to
Like,
find it.
I know. Like, this is like a very basic.
If they haven't paid in 2 months,
Yeah.
then okay, you should be able to evict them.
Yeah,
Right?
it's nuts. It's nuts. One thing that is probably pretty controversial, I don't think it's going to happen, but they're suggesting that maybe give landlords a bit more control over like how month-to-month leases work. Like after a fixed term 1-year lease, like what happens like after that. Right now, as it is, it automatically turns into a month-to-month tenancy after a 1-year lease.
Yeah.
And then the tenants just basically live there indefinitely, as long as they continue to pay rent. Um, you know, there's been proposals that maybe, okay, so after after a fixed term 1-year lease, should that change? Should the landlords have more control and decide if they want to renew on a tenant, or the tenant has to leave? Again,
Or if they both mutually agree to, maybe you sign another lease, right? Maybe it's a
Exactly.
6-month or another year,
exactly.
right?
Yeah, there definitely needs some reform, but I want to ask you, if you think there's any maybe adjustments overall in like Ontario tenancy laws that could be made to improve the system.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to get into specifics, but I feel like you know, there was a time when landlords were taking advantage of tenants, and I don't agree with that. But now it feels like the tenants are taking advantage of the landlords. So I just feel like there needs to be a middle ground, a fair middle ground.
Absolutely. I think middle ground and like just improving the fairness is really needed, and preventing these kind of like extreme circumstances that come up at LTB court hearings, because there's definitely a lot of them.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
what's one local business in your area
Hmm.
that you would be devastated if it closed down tomorrow?
Okay. So at the end of my street, I have a great little restaurant that's been there since I'd moved in. It's called Three Speed. It's a nice, like, it's a homey little spot with homemade food, and it's just like great price. So if that left, I would be absolutely devastated.
I've been to Three Speed. It's
Have
a
you?
great spot.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Yeah. Great pints. They have a little patio in the back that's heated. So it's, yeah, it's a good spot.
Place that I would be devastated if it closed down tomorrow, Completo. So that it's a Mexican restaurant literally on my street on Cody Avenue in Leslieville, and it's cheap Mexican food, but it's good. Like, I love the cheap, good food places in Toronto, because those are like, so like you have it all the time,
Yeah.
right? It's like critical to just like
And it's
have,
nice that it's right there,
yeah,
end of your street. It's not hyped up, so you
Yeah.
don't get all these like people from the 905, sorry, 905,
Yeah.
coming
Yeah.
in and waiting in line like Batty Alley. But
Yeah. Batty Alley, the line. So I go. The times you need to go to Batty Alley, guys, is like, okay, Tuesday at like 2:30 p.m. You'll be good.
when it's raining.
Yeah, when it's raining, maybe there's a blizzard coming. That's the time to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
So, oh my God.
They're actually opening a new location at Bloor and Bathurst.
Bloor and Bathurst.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Old Honest Ed.
On
Okay.
Markham, yeah,
Yeah.
in that new development in there.
That's amazing. Okay. So they're expanding. That's cool. When you're viewing a property in person, what's a visual red flag that would totally turn you off from the property?
I'm a big foundation guy.
Yeah.
If you smell molds or smells musty in the basement, that's a massive red flag. You know, I live in an old home, so I understand the workmanship, I guess, the craftsmanship that went in, you know, over 100 years ago. Rock foundations that are very porous and leak.
Rock foundations. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
So,
Stone foundation.
yeah.
Crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's one thing. What about yourself?
Similar also. Anything really that has to do with structural issues in home, because I've been to some houses that are, it's literally like slightly uneven when you're walking down the hallway.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is going on with this house? Like, why is it leaning? And then you walk outside and you see literally the foundation is starting to bulge.
Right.
You've seen the bulging
Oh,
with
yeah.
certain foundations where it's just like, what the hell is going on here? This is inevitably going to collapse. Maybe not tomorrow, but it could collapse.
So what would you do in that circumstance if you were bringing a buyer through the property? What would you do? How would you?
If they're serious about the property, you need to have an engineer to actually come and home inspect that place. Not just a regular home inspector. You need like an engineer to consult with, right? And then understand what you're getting into.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Yeah, we sold a property a few years ago, and it had a pretty significant bulge on the side.
Yeah.
But we had an engineer come through. They did all the proper checks, and there was no issue. It looked bad, but there was no issue structurally with the property. So
Okay. Interesting.
we ended up selling it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good story.
Then it fell over.
Did it?
No.
Okay. You kind of almost got us there. Okay. What's one renovation choice that homeowners should not do, no matter how trendy it may seem?
Gold faucets.
Gold faucets. I like that. I like that. And
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think like gold.
I'll latch onto that gold wallpaper. Don't do gold wallpaper. I don't see that very often, guys. That's not really a common thing, but just don't do it. Just skip that.
What about gold Toto toilet?
Gold Toto toilets. We'll get Trump's interior designer to give us consultations on what gold things that we need. Melania can come by. Yeah.
All right, well, that's a wrap. But thanks again for watching this. And if you have any questions, drop a comment, send us a DM, and we'll see you on the next one.